The A-Team tonight, Democratic strategist Robert Zimmerman, senior policy analyst for the Independent Women's Forum, Hadley Heath, former special assistant to President George W. Bush, Ron Christie. Thanks for being here. Dinesh D'Souza, charged with violating campaign election laws and talking about a felony, $20,000. Does this make sense to you?
Absolutely it does, because it's not about the dollar amount, it's about the act itself. And if you read what Dinesh D'Souza's attorney said, Benjamin Brafman, he basically said he called this at most an act of misguided friendship, hardly an emphatic denial for a corrupt practice, which he should know about.
Abby, what do you think?
I think we have to wait and let the courts decide. We're innocent until proven guilty in this country. And, I wouldn't defend criminal activity if that's what's taken place here, but certainly it's hard to ignore Dinesh D'Souza's, history as an outspoken conservative at Princeton and then with the 2016.
Sadly, he's not a conservative. He's the Larry Flint of political literature. I mean, let's be realistic. He's made a career writing lies and scandal sheets, so I don't give him any credit for being, I think it's a mistake when you talk about him being an author of political literature.
Wow.
Wow, Robert.
Good to be with you this evening.
Wow.
I happen to, Dinesh is a friend of mine. I like him. I think he's a nice, gentle soul. I would say you're a gentle soul until I heard you say that. My gosh.
You helped me overcome my shyness, Lou. What can I say?
Well, let's see what happens when Ron Christie weighs in on this. What are your thoughts, Ron?
Well, Lou, I think this is very chilling. I know Dinesh D'Souza as well. I think he's a very nice guy, and I think that, as Hadley's pointed out, we're innocent until proven guilty. But it goes to the underlying nature of this administration that has overtly used the IRS for political purposes. They have appointed someone who is a Obama campaign donor to look to see whether or not it warrants further investigation. And I sit here and say, as a conservative and one who has written a documentary that was very critical of the president, I think it's very interesting on the sense of timing and the fact they're coming after him like this.
Yeah, and I think we should give the Washington Post credit for pointing out that a contributor to John Edwards' campaign, who stood in precisely the same position, even the same amount of money for Robert Zimmerman's benefit, it was only a misdemeanor in 2007 under apparently a far less demanding president, George W. Bush. Does that give you any pause at all that even the Post would point that out? Or
I think, look, this could be plea bargained down.
Is there any mercy in your heart?
You know something?
Come on, Robert.
For anyone who scams, Ron, I'm sorry, for anyone who scams and tries to violate our electoral process,
hang them high?
Shouldn't hang them high, but hold them to power of justice, hold them accountable. I'm not suggesting he should go to jail, but I'm suggesting he be held accountable.
A misdemeanor then would sate your bloodlust?
Let's just, by the way, all I do is refer back to what his own lawyer said. Clearly there's an issue here about misconduct that should be exposed. I'll leave it to the courts to decide what the proper penalty is.
Now, see, that generosity is starting to percolate up. We're on the way. Your thoughts, if we could, very quickly. Ron Christie, this administration, we're getting ready for a State of the Union address. Peggy Noonan says no one will be listening. Is that true?
I think she's right. She wrote a very excellent op-ed in the Wall Street Journal where she said that this president is overstated, oversaturated. And the State of the Union used to be about something really important, Lou, where the president actually had the opportunity to talk to the country. And it seems that this president only talks to his base and the Democrats, and it's a wasted opportunity for him to bring the country together.
Very quickly, Hadley, your thoughts?
Yes, I remember when the president made a campaign video or gave a speech about just words. He said, don't tell me words don't matter. And he pointed to other famous speeches and talked about the importance of words, but that's all he is now.
I also remember a time when Republicans didn't yell liar and disrespect the office of the presidency.
I haven't called anyone a liar.
I'm not saying you did, but a House member did, certainly in one State of the Union. And hopefully they can behave respectfully for their office.
And I'll bet Hadley can remember times when folks wouldn't interrupt her in mid-sentence. But
yes, Robert.
Those were different times, different folks. Robert Zimmerman, Hadley Heath, Ron Christie, we thank you all.